Hold on. What is this? How to not suck as a player. What do they mean by this? How to not suck as a player. I want to not suck. Very curious.
Me, but definitely you,
Ah,
but also me. We
hold
suck
on.
at
Don't
you,
yell at me.
me, but definitely you, but also me. We suck at Final Fantasy 14. We suck so hard we should get paid for it.
Ew.
But that's
Okay.
okay. We're entitled to make mistakes. We're only human after all. Wrong. Be better tomorrow than you were today. Welcome to the video. I'm Dying Legacy, and here are 10 tips to help you suck less than I do. Number 1. Always say hi. Here's the scene. You've entered content and everyone gives a hearty hello before what can only be described as chaos because the group has unknowingly entered content with you. This won't break or ruin your experience, but Final Fantasy 14 is an MMO.
Now, the French girl I used to raid with, um, used to, what the fuck am I saying? I usually raid with her, right? When we go to dungeons or we're going to raids, she's usually the one that's like, "Hi, hope you're all having a good day." And like just to balance the positivity, I always just write, just respond with, "My wife left me" or some shit. Like sometimes it's important to say hi, but it's like it's not all content. Like in Party Finder, for example, sometimes you can just say hi, right? Or you can just say like, "Hi, what position you? M1, M2, cool." That's it. No more fucking conversation is gonna happen. Some people don't even say hi. They literally will join and like, "Is M2 taken?" Okay, bye. Sometimes they don't even say bye.
And you are playing with real people. So at the end of the day, it's just basic manners. But it could also be the start of a budding friendship or even blossom into a free company. Sure, maybe you're on
Why are the colors so overblown for you? Why are my colors so overblown? This is so hella saturated. It is literally blinding me.
controller or a weird letterless keyboard, but if possible, try to say hello. It's basic human interaction. Even for those like myself that have social anxiety, hello has no consequences. And you'd be surprised how far a hello can go to improve someone else's day. It may even keep the party together after you inevitably wipe it. Number 2, take advice. And when I say advice,
Okay, hold on. No, wait. Say hello is not gonna keep a party together. Look, in my experience, doesn't matter how optimistic or good vibes the party is, even after like gathering a party for like a good 6 hours, chances are people are just gonna leave after like three pulls. Sometimes that is just that, and a high is just not gonna save that, unfortunately. But I do support the good vibes.
advice. I don't mean when people ask you to leave the server because you're sucking the joy from their souls. I mean healthy game advice, such as using arm's length, or the inner workings of Umbral Soul, or even the advice of using Swiftcast before using a Giro. Helpful comments to improve your gameplay. Sure, if it's coming from a mentor, there's an 80% chance of it being redundant, wrong, or just plain rude. You can be forgiven for reacting harshly, but a lot of the time people are just trying to
Wait, hold on. Let me understand this advice again. Where it's start around here, right?
Swiftcast before using a Giro. Helpful comments to improve your gameplay.
So basic. Wait, so is he talking about like basic advice?
Advice, such as using arm's length, or the inner
Arms length is very important, by the way. A lot of tanks will literally tell you to fuck off, though, when you try to give them advice. If you're pulling too many packs, use arm's length. Also, it's okay to use your raid mid to use it just for yourself as mid, by the way. Arm's length will apply, for those who are not aware, arm's length will apply slow. What slow does, it doesn't slow down the enemies. What slow specifically does, which is annoyingly cryptic in this game, it slows down the autos of the enemies hitting you and their cast speed. But it's specifically in dungeons, it doesn't affect bosses. But that's essentially what slow does. And like uh, this whole conversation mainly goes towards tanks. Tanks are usually the ones who need the most advice, and the people who will most likely will just tell you to fuck off from all your advice. But like, use all your tools, learn what the tools do. Like as a tank player, if you're going to be using your tools, and or you're a tank that just pulls so confidently and you just play so well that you it will literally feel that you don't need advice, god damn it, you're going to be a superstar. You're going to go far.
inner workings of Umbral Soul, or even the advice of using Swiftcast before using a Giro. Helpful comments to improve your gameplay. Sure, if it's coming from a mentor, there's an 80% chance of it being redundant, wrong, or just plain rude.
Why Jira though? Why not just say your resurrection spell? I know they're all different on all healers, but like, why specifically point that one out? Not every fucking mouth breeder is playing Sage. I know it's like the easiest healer to get into, like White Mage and Sage, but Sage can just do both shields and heals. I don't know.
You can be forgiven
Whatever.
for reacting harshly, but a lot of the time people are just trying to get through content, and helping you to improve is usually the fastest way to do that. Sure, they don't pay your sub, but you also don't pay theirs, so no one's obligated to play with you. Number 3. Equip your Jobstone. You know that quest you did at level 30, where you were basically indoctrinated into a cult of like-minded heroes?
What? I get like some people will forget the Jobstone, right? I get that. But some weapons don't allow you to not equip it anymore, right? Like inside the game, you can like hover over certain weapons, right? Like for example, let me actually show you an example. Main screen. So let's check some like the two axes, right? See, one of them is Marauder Warrior. The other one is Warrior Only. If I equip the Warrior Only, it's gonna auto equip my stone. This one will not. This one, I obviously need the job stone. But if you carry certain weapons, you might as well just carry specifically the ones that just equip it. It's not all of them, mind you, but it's specifically the jobs that, like, honestly, it is sound advice, to be fair, that he's giving, right? But I generally think they should change that system. I get it, like we're all different classes very early on, but at this point where we have classes like again like Sage, Summoner, actually not, actually yeah, Summoner, because there's not really any Arcanist weapons per se, right? Actually, no, there is certain like jobs like Samurai or Red Mage. It's like you don't have a pre-existing job before that one. I think they need to like change the job system already. Because like, what the fuck am I gonna go as Marauder for? Why do I need that option? It's good to have options, but like, if I already upgraded to Warrior, like just equip it automatically. Why does it even take up an item slot? Honestly, and it's like if it's in the game to have this system, honestly, what it should do, it should auto equip it if you're, especially if you're like above level 30. If you're max level and you've done all the job quests, it should equip them automatically. But the option should be to take it off instead. So like, then we know you're purposely playing conjurer in alliance raids, right? And you're not a dumb fuck that just forgot to equip yours. It's better to specifically have that option rather than anything else, right? At least that's my opinion. Let's go back to the video.
That made you go from being a gladiator to a paladin, conjurer to a white mage. You do? Good! Equip your damn Jobstone then, or Soul Crystal as they're known. All base classes stop gaining abilities at level 30. That includes all classes you can choose in the character creator screen and the rogue job you can pick up later. Why is it important? Well, stats and abilities.
Oh god, Rogue is especially annoying. Rogue is especially annoying. You can't start as Rogue. You have to pick up Rogue when you're level 10, and sometimes you're a Rogue before you can equip your ninja shit. Unless they're gonna introduce more jobs that can branch out from these these basic job ones. I don't see a reason for us to have them. They really need to like either streamline them or just like if Scholar and Arcanist, like if Arcanist didn't branch into Summoner, like Arcanist, I get it branches into Scholar and Summoner. That I understand. But every other fucking job, what is the fucking point of me even having the option to go into an earlier iteration of my job? I don't know. It's like I understand that they can't really change the system to just be baseline and mainstreamed because of specifically Arcanist. But I feel like they could just rewrite the job quests at that point. They've already rewritten like an entire gaggle of quests in Realm Reborn. They can rewrite just one fucking job quest just to make streamline every other job. So you start as a marauder and you go up as a warrior, right? I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it's just there and necessary.
abilities. If you aren't using your job crystal, you are vastly underpowered compared to everybody else. It's as simple as that. Now equip the damn thing. Number 4. Drag and drop. Did you know you can drag and drop abilities
Dragging these nuts.
to your hotbar?
Okay.
Well, did you also know you can drag and drop menu icons, as well as markers, G-pose, emotes and other things to your hotbar as well? Well, you can.
Oh yeah, literally everything in this game you can kind of drag it over here. You can kind of drag it specifically on like hold on. So if, for example, a very useful thing I found, you see these like little buttons in the corner over here. You can like, for example, I need the PvP profile because sometimes it's just annoying for me to find it just to click the series milestone and just to figure out the battle pass, right? You can just take this, hold it, and just drag it. And you can just drag it on your bars. Or anything like, for example, shared fate. Let's say I'm farming my shared fate right now. I don't want to constantly go into here just to like find it, right? I don't want to constantly go into shared the fate. Boom, over there. Teleport and return. You know what those do, right? Socials. Maybe you need a blacklist. Maybe you want to have contacts so you don't have to go every time there after a party finder, and you want to blacklist like half the group, right? It is very comfortable to have these options in the game. It is very nice. Obviously, there's also a lot of options specifically in the spell book, like the main commands. Like have the people they wouldn't even fucking put this on their bars, but it's nice to have an option. It's nice to have a button instead of like a hotkey for the inventory. Armory chest, extras, all of this. It's nice. It's really good.
A vast
Sorry, hold on. Did it just move me to the other side? Oh, that is sick. I never knew it did that. Hold on, I'm just wait. Yo. That's fun. I didn't realize it did that.
majority of Final Fantasy XIV's actions and menus can be directly placed on your hotbar. Even the idling camera and alarms can be dragged to the hotbar. And this
Oh, yeah.
includes your limit break. Yes, you can equip your limit break to the hotbar.
Though, you know what I found more useful for alarm clock specifically? You can literally have a chat channel, a chat category, and you can just set it to specifically show you only the alarms. I kind of find that a lot more useful than just dragging fucking alarm clocks. You just set alarm clocks and you just have a chat window that will show you those instead of just checking up on those. You can also press Control U to show you like all the in-game timers for yourself. For those who do not know, in-game you can press Control U and it will show you all the timers you need. It will show the alarm if you have those set up. Let's say estate. I have submarines running constantly. Boom, need that shit. Any company projects, I will know. Housing lottery, I will know that. Everything, map allowance, ventures. Maybe I don't know how many delivers I got available this week. Boom, fashion report. Bam, you don't even need to check. If you're one of those people that's trying to actually do the thing yourself instead of checking Twitter for the cheat sheet, you can check that here. The Mass Carnival, there you go. Everything's here. Very useful, neat, quality of life things in this game.
So go do that. So many people, when picking up new jobs like Viper or Pictomancer, tend to forget that they don't automatically have their limit break on their hotbar, including me. I forgot, and it was embarrassing. Number 5. Let the Sprout watch their cutscenes. Yes, you've heard it time and time again. Don't spoil the MSQ. Let the Sprout experience the story. But this also goes for cutscenes that happen in dungeons and alliance raids. There are a lot of cutscenes that happen mid-content. Some relevant, some not so relevant. But if you decide to just pull a boss while that Sprout is watching their cutscene, chances are they won't get to see the boss encounter either and not learn the fight. Regardless of if you care or not about story, don't take away the experience from someone else. Don't be
That is a That is good advice, honestly. Like, be nice to the newer players. Some of them need to at least enjoy whatever the fuck the game has to offer before they become jaded, fucking doom talking players like us at max level. Let them enjoy the story before it gets worse.
Be a dick. Number 6. Personal space. This sounds weird, I grant you, but it's a thing. We all know glamour is the true endgame, but what comes after getting that perfect outfit together? It's screenshots and photo ops, and the obvious AFK fashion walk in Limsa Lominsa. And you know what ruins that? Standing on top of people, walking up and admiring their glam. At a distance, that would be called romantic. I'm a big offender of this, walking up to players, checking them out, exploring all the
Like, is my party filled? Like, honestly, in a sense, he's wrong and also correct. Like, for example, I am on Light Data Center in Lich, right? Sometimes, most of the time, there's one character over here that is always like standing in the malevolent pose. This character is always dressed the same, and they're honestly just grinding their whole shtick is that they're grinding playtime hours, and they're just standing here. That's fine. People will stand next to them. They will. It's literally a local attraction. But there's also this character here. This person has multiple times started screaming in in Say Chat specifically that stop standing on me. This is my spot. Get the fuck away. Go away. Can you like just go away? Why are you harassing me by standing here? What are you doing here? Stop playing the instruments at me. Like it depends. It depends, right? Party gathered. It honestly just depends on the people. Sometimes it's fun, sometimes people will invite conflict into it. I paid Square Enix for the space, go away. The dum dum. I mean, it's like, we understandable. It's like, and I see this person here always. They're always in different glam. Some of their glam I recognize, but they're always in this spot. Sometimes there's two of them. I don't know if they're advertising something or are they doing RNT. I don't fucking know. I don't care, honestly. But people at this point have stood there for so fucking long. People just recognize them because they stand out looking like that. It's like, to each their own. But I prefer like people who stand like over here and just vibe with their own little meme, right? In the malevolent position. Whenever she like comes back and stands here again, I will show you guys. It feels a bit dumb trying to lay claim to a certain spot in MMOs. I mean, people don't really lay claim, but if they hang out there long enough, people will assume there's a claim to a spot. Like on Zodiac, there's the furry bench. That is where, and like surprisingly, that is where some of the best fucking raiders I know, personally, I know them, hang out. On Zodiac, there's a specific furry rock or bench. I don't remember, but I remember there was a lot of fucking drama because that's where all the Hrothgars hang out. Like, it's fine. It's like if there's a bunch of people, like, honestly, like as a streamer, I wish I had a spot where I can hang out and do all my content. I need my Zepla spot. Like Zepla, for example, every time she logs in to not play the game, she would just hang out in the Charlene Cafe in the end of the world cafe in Charlene. That's where she spent like the entirety of Endwalker. I need to find a spot, and like if I do end up uploading this as a video, people in chat like recommend me a spot. Where am I gonna stand? Where am I gonna sit down, vibe, and just watch videos and not play the game I pay for? Could always go to the taco place in Tuliolo. I like that spot. I generally do, but no. For one simple reason: if at some point, because like that's like, I'm not a big streamer. I'm not a big streamer by a long shot, right? By a fucking long shot. The reason I don't want to do Tuliolo is specifically like that one cafe. There are some NPCs that used to be in those spots where I'm sitting. And sometimes, like very rarely, mind you, but just for because of that situation, like very rarely, I will just not sit. Like I will have more than one person around me when I'm watching a video during stream, and I don't want like some newbie going through a story. They're trying to approach an NPC, and there's like six of us just fucking surrounding this NPC. Like I feel like I don't want to be in the way like that.
lot, as it were. as the player shifts position because I'm blocking their view. Be respectful of the catwalk. I know I've learned to be. Number 7. Tank running in circles.
Huh?
Stand fucking still. Not only can the DPS not fully DPS, especially if they're melee DPS, you as a tank can't fully mitigate damage. If your back is to the boss and you're legging it like it's the fucking Olympics, calm down. Sit still and use your mitigation skills. Your party will thank you. I don't think this needs more explanation than that.
As a tank, doesn't really fucking matter, honestly. Like, like obviously your positioning as a tank is important, but like no tank is like this fucking panicky. Only the ones in dungeons, but they don't realize that dungeon enemies also have like semi-range attacks due to fucking latency issues in dungeons. Not all of them are specifically melee. Some of them look melee, but they're actually ranged. Teehee. But fuck's sake. But yeah, it's like running away is like the most annoying part. It's like it's sure you might have two Marys, that's fine, but um, just in general, like as a tank, like there's not much you can do other than just like try to um, like sure, like in World of Warcraft, you can kind of avoid a couple of autos by just sometimes moving away from the boss. But that's like not every boss. That used to be a thing specifically in Legion. Sometimes tanks would like disconnect, or like try to like when they have to move the boss, they would run away a lot faster just to kind of position them to a specific spot and avoid some autos. It was like very minuscule mid maxing, but it's like it was mid maxing. In 14, that kind of doesn't fucking work. Unfortunately, it doesn't fucking work. Um, but yeah, running in circles, it's like it's fucking whatever. Um, but like, if any advice I would give to specifically tanks is like, check what the fuck your crowd control abilities do. Your interrupt and your kick, not the kick, but like specifically that ability that stuns the target. That's a good fucking ability. If you're a paladin, you also got shield bash, non-stop fucking interrupts and targets, specifically in dungeons. That's really sick. Same with like the with DPS, specifically Fizz range. They have they have a lot of fucking crowd control. They use fucking none of it. None of it. It's just pointless unless you're like specifically questing world questing. It's I don't know.
Number 8. Check vendors before buying from the market board. This is actually important info to live by. If you check an item in your inventory, you'll notice in its tooltip that it tells you the shop selling price as well as the sell price. The sell price is what gil you'll get for selling to a vendor. The shop selling price is the opposite. It's how much a vendor sells it for, which means you can go pick it up from a vendor for that price. Now, if it has restricted in brackets next to it, that means you probably have to do a series of quests before that's available to buy from said vendor. Now back to the important part. People will buy vendor items and sell them on the market board for a much higher price. So if you want to save some gil, read the tooltip and save yourself a whole pile of gil and go and fetch it from a vendor. Number 9.
That is actually a really good fucking advice. That is a really good fucking advice. I did the same thing at some point, like for for glamour prisms or some other thing. It's like I would just buy shit off of the market board because I was too lazy to figure out where the fuck else to get them. Until I realized a lot of the dice or glamour prisms, like I'm wasting thousands. I am capped on fucking Grand Company seals. I have a junk monger in my house. Why am I spending thousands of gil specifically on items that I could have found? Like I, I would. To be fair, I wouldn't check specifically sells for prices or anything of that sort. I was literally just go Google items. But this is a good tip. This is a good tip, especially for newer players who might be they might be scammers by the market board.
Don't waste MSQ experience. Self-explanatory really. If you're doing the MSQ with a job you really enjoy, you eventually will outlevel the MSQ. The MSQ offers huge amounts of experience points, so it's best practice to keep a second or even third job on hand that's level to do the MSQ as well. That way, you're not wasting XP on a job that's not benefiting from it. And you can level a job or two extra as well by the time you finish. It'll give yourself some options when you finally hit the end game.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Because some quests are level locked. If we're talking specifically MSQ, some of the quests, like the side quest, sure, go with that. Like you can literally just do MSQ on one job and do all the side quests on another job. That way you can level up two jobs. But MSQ, the MSQ is like job quests or anything else. Like it's got to be level locked. You need to be this level to proceed. Like if we're specifically talking like pre pre max level MSQ. At max level MSQ, guess what? You might be able to start the quest on a lower level job, but to finish it or to give the go claim your rewards, you're gonna have to change up to max level or level up just to be able to finish the quest. Leveling is really fucking weird. I see where he's coming from, but this applies to like anything like up to level 50. I'm be real. Up to level 50.
Number 10. Google it. If you don't know it or what's what and need information or just have required learning to do, Google it. Just bear in mind, the moment you start watching content. Number 10. Google it.
Very important advice. You don't understand, someone tells you something in a dungeon, someone tells you a name of a spell, anything in this game, fucking Google it. So chances are there's a Reddit page, there's a Gamerscape item, there's a little fucking library of the like any items. Like there's a whole library for every item in the game from 14 itself. If you need to Google it, if you need to check like when you get certain spells or where the continuation of a certain MSQ, if you like lost. Where like a job quest, for example, you finish the job quest and you forget where the job giver NPC is. Google it. Google it.
If you don't know it or what's
What is a Final Fantasy? I would like several of those. I want to try
what
them.
and need information or just have required learning to do, Google it.
The real Final Fantasy is that some of us are approaching or are in our 30s.
Just bear in mind, the moment you start watching content and learning about content and information outside of the game itself is when you shed your casual skin and start becoming more of a hardcore player. Don't shy from it. Embrace it. Embrace the responsibility of passing that threshold. And if the information you're trying to learn is just confusing and hard to digest, then just subscribe to my channel. I make guides and things for people as stupid as me, and for those who don't have time to watch 6-hour videos on how to open their inventory screen. Be sure to like the video and give an up-and-coming sprout a better chance of finding this video themselves. You'd be their hero. Also, if you'd be a darling and comment below your helpful tips for things that frustrate you, you'd be helping out those sprouts even further. Plus, I'd get a good laugh from agreeing with you. Also,
you know what? I'm gonna give a couple of advice of my own, right? Here are a couple of advice of my own. I need a good fucking place to show some of these. All right, this is my advice to you guys. I'll give you two advice. First, to adjust the camera if you're not a controller user, specifically for height. Sometimes you need more real estate on your screen. Control up and down on the arrows. Boop, boop. The other advice that is very useful, sometimes the aetheryte is cluttered with shit. Like all the quests or any vendors, if you press control while on the map, it brings up the aetheryte up top. So you can just click on it. There you go. Those are my two advice. Otherwise, I think that was a good video. And my party failed. Time to throw. I'm gonna throw up all over the floor.